Caribe, thanks. And you know what? Now that it is getting warmer, those pools are looking more and more attractive, right? But not just to us. Take a listen here.
It's not a matter of bad parenting. It's a matter of just a lapse, just a brief moment of supervision.
It can happen to anyone. We talk about it, we warn you about it, but once the weather gets warm, it seems like all of us in the news business are heading out to a near drowning every single week. I want you to listen to this horrible statistic. Drowning is the leading cause of accidental death for kids under 5. I've also got some more numbers for you. So far this year, there have been 10 water-related incidents, 6 involving children, and then valley-wide last year, 20 kids died from drownings. It was 16 kids the year before. We want to do whatever we can to bring down those numbers. We need to talk about awareness, and also you need to have conversations, you know, with the sitters who are watching your kids, or maybe grandparents or other parents who are watching the kids. Right now, I want to talk to Mesa Fire Captain Ken Hall. He joins me out here on the patio. And Ken, we're going to be talking about this little pool and dangers coming up. Also, you've got a great event coming up in Mesa tomorrow. First, tell me this. Let's talk about the calendar. When do those calls start to increase coming into the Mesa Fire Department when it comes to drowning calls?
Yes, as the weather starts to warm up in April and into May, we start to see those numbers increase. June, July, and August are some of the peak numbers, and even into September, Scott.
Okay. We've got this small pool out here. You've got a couple inches of water in this little pool. These are obviously popular. You've got about 2 inches in there. Is that enough to drown a child?
Absolutely, Scott. All it takes is enough water. If a child does fall into the water face down and their nose and mouth is covered, they're unable to get air, and that's when that event can occur.
You brought up a great point just a second ago. A lot of people have these pools, let's say on the back patio, for their dogs, and they don't even think about the possible danger to the kids.
Yeah, we all know our pets get very hot in the summer. Some people have these out there for their dogs or animals to cool down, and they may forget about them on the side of the house. So it's important to be aware of this and try to prevent that accident by dumping that water out or not using those.
Speaking of preventing that accident, you've got a good acronym here. Let's talk about the ABCs of drowning prevention.
Okay. First one I want to talk about is adult supervision. Okay, adult supervision is very important. We have to have somebody with their eyes on the child at all time.
Right.
The next one is barriers. We talk about pool fences or a barrier to the water, period. So maybe a barrier is considered just getting rid of the water, taking it away from the source. But a pool fence is one of the key things also. The last one I want to talk about is C, is the classes.
Okay.
We can take swimming classes, we can take CPR classes, and we take any kind of water safety class will give us more information on how to be safe around the home.
Speaking of those classes, what's the recommended age that kids should maybe start that swim lesson?
You know, I think you should start those swim lessons as soon as possible. They do have programs starting at 6 months that teach children how to float and hold their breath. That by any means isn't necessarily swimming, but it teaches them some of the stuff to be safer around pools. As they progress on to 3 or 4 years old, they may learn some of the more advanced swimming techniques, but throughout they're going to learn about water safety tips, pool fences, and how to be safe around pools.
Let's do this. Let's put some information on the screen about that great event that I mentioned that's coming up tomorrow. You guys are also looking for some volunteers as well, Captain. Tell me about April Pools Day.
April Pools Day is coming up tomorrow and this weekend. It's a water walk for safety.
Okay.
April 6th, tomorrow at 8 in the morning in the city of Mesa, the Mesa Fire and Medical Department and Cardin's Children Center is going to be putting on a water walk. We're going to meet at the Dobson Ranch Library. There's going to be a whole bunch of materials out there. We need as many volunteers as possible. So It's a great opportunity for people to come out and help their community. They're going to grab these pamphlets and information and go door to door and leave some of the information at people's doors about water safety, swimming, and events like that.
Okay. Captain Ken Hall, we appreciate your time. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Very good information. By the way, I've got another resource for you. Parents, I want you to pay attention here. This one is called Infant Swim Resource, and there's the information. Kids can learn how to turn over in the water to avoid drowning. It's a 6-week course. If you'd like more information, all you have to do is go to their website. It's infantswim.com. Now, let me tell you what's coming up on 12 News at 5.